Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We hope you all are doing wonderful tonight and that you've had a marvelous and fantastic day. We're here tonight, episode number 9. Episode number 9. And we're talking tonight about nutritional myths that are holding us back. Thank you so kindly for being on this journey with us. We are truly, truly thankful that you are on this journey with us and have made it to episode number 9 with us. And so we're just super excited to have you here with us tonight. Yes, we are, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. So again, I want to say welcome you to tonight's episode. And we're going to be talking about nutritional myths that are holding us. So we've got a lot to talk about tonight, and so we're glad about having you, our dear listening audience, and we want you to know that we appreciate you because there be no us without you. Okay? And so we do appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and join us, to provide us with your feedbacks. Your feedbacks are a tremendous help to us, and we really appreciate it. Now, I just want to say if you have not taken the survey, please head over to the Facebook page and take the little brief survey. It's like 5 little simple questions. And if you don't mind, we appreciate it if you can just take a few minutes and take that little brief survey for us so that we can know how this daily podcast has been a help to you, or in what way that it's been a help to you, and what can we do to make it better? And would you like to continue to see us coming forth with these episodes and things of that nature? So if you don't mind, please head over to our Facebook Health Talk page and take the little brief survey. I really appreciate it so much. All right. And Dr. Willis appreciated as well. Okay. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. Episode number 9, Nutritional Myths that are holding us back. And as always, if we're going to give it a little title, we're going to talk about uh, more than food for the soul, rewriting what wellness looks like. And we're so glad that you're a part of helping us to rewrite what wellness look like. All right, so let's get into it tonight. As always, we're going to start out with our Did You Know fact of the day. And here it is. Did you know that almost 90% of African Americans over the age of 20 are overweight or obese? And much of it is tied to cultural eating patterns passed down, not questioned. Your plate carries tradition, but it shouldn't carry disease. Let's get into He Cares Health Talk podcast, where healing is holistic and health is your birthright. I'm your host, Dr. Ferris Corbett, wellness advocate, certified coach, and founder and CEO of He Cares Training and Education Center, LLC, along with Dr. Deidre Willis, our executive vice president of He Cares Training and Education Center, LLC. Tonight, we're bursting open some of the biggest lies we've been taught or told ourselves about food. Because truth is, Nutrition myths have cost us energy, confidence, and even years off our lives. But once we know better, we live better. All right? So, what we eat is not just about tradition, it's about transformation. And while we honor our roots, we must also challenge the patterns that keeps us sick, tired, and inflamed. All right? So the first myth that we're going to talk about tonight is if it runs in my family, I'm going to get it anyway. That's a myth. The truth is, genetics loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Now, diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease may be inherited, but they can be displayed or delayed or even prevented with nutrition and wellness habits. So, the saying that it runs in our family or it runs in the family is a myth. And the truth about it is, as we say, genetics may load the gun, but it's lifestyle that pulls the trigger. So, even though diabetes or heart disease or hypertension, although it may be inherited or runs in the family, but it can eventually be delayed and in some instances even prevented by simple things such as nutrition and wellness habits. All right, so let's talk about myth number two. Myth number two is that season equals salty. Oh, that's a big one there, isn't it? So the truth is that we think that if our food isn't full of salt, it has no flavor. Okay? If I can't taste the salt in my food, it ain't got no flavor to it. So how many of us are like that? We got to taste that salt. If I don't taste that salt, then it is not seasoned. And as you can see in the little infogram that we have there, salt, just moderation so it can play well with the others. All right? So the truth is that herbs, citrus, garlic, onions, and spices like turmeric and cumin, they offer flavor and they are inflammatory drugs. So they help reduce any type of swelling. They help to get rid of any type of swelling that you have. So instead of, I gotta have that salt, I gotta taste that salt in my food. No, it's a mind thing. You don't necessarily have to taste the salt in your food. It's okay to have a little salt in moderation, but you want to try to go to a more healthier sort of seasoning, such as we said, using herbs, using citrus, using onions and other types of spices, things such as turmeric and cumin. Both of those and all those, they offer flavor. And as I said, they are anti inflammatory benefits to them as well. So your food can taste good and still be good for you. Okay? Your food can taste good and be good for you by simply using herbs, spices, onions, and things of that nature. All right? So now let's get into myth number three. Now, myth number three is that we say that soda or juice is better than soda. Drinking juice is better than drinking soda. That's the myth. But the truth is, 1 cup of juice can have as much sugar as a can of soda. Think about that. 1 cup of juice can have as much sugar, as 1 can of soda. So the myth of that is no, juice is not necessarily better than soda. So what are we saying? Fruit in its whole form is always better. So if you want some type of fruit juice, instead of buying the juice, just go ahead and simply buy the regular fruit itself. So if you want apple juice, just buy the apples. If you want orange juice, just buy the oranges. If you want grape juice, just buy the grapes. Because the myth that juice is better than soda is not necessarily true. Because one, one cup of fruit juice can have as much sugar as 1 can of soda. Okay? So think about that. Let's make that transition. So like I said, if you want the apple juice, buy apples. If you want the orange juice, buy the oranges. All right? Now, let's move on to myth number 4. Myth number 4 says butter, lard, and grease is how we were raised, and we turned out fine. So, we say about our grandparents how they had, consumed a lot of butter. They cooked with that lard. I don't know if you all remember. Uh, I can remember my grandparents as well as my parents, after we cooked something like fried chicken or bacon or something like that, you took that grease from those items and you put it in those lard and saved them in those lard can and you used them. So the myth is that butter, lard, and grease is how we were raised, and we turned out fine. But here's the thing about that. Here's the kicker about that. They may have survived or used the butter, the lard, and the grease, but here is the second caveat to that. They also moved more. They got out and got on the farms. They got out and weed and got in the gardens, went out and milked the cow. So they, even though they were eating all these, butter, lard, and grease, all these unhealthy fats and things of that nature, they were moving. They were out moving. They were not sedentary. They didn't weren't just sitting around. And also, they ate from the land. They grew their own crops. They grew their own corn. They grew their own tomatoes. They grew their own okra. So they ate from the land. They got their own eggs from their chickens, and they even took their own chickens that were, grown by them, and that's what they did, and that's what they ate. They ate from the land, and they didn't consume a lot of this ultra processed food like we do today. You know, we consume an enormous amount of ultra processed food, which is unhealthy for us. So if we're going to go with that, the butter, the lard, and the grease was how our foreparents, our grandparents, they were raised and they turned out all right. We must remember that they were not sedentary. They were out. They were moving about. They were doing things. And also, they ate from the land. And they did not consume this ultra processed food like we do today. All right. So we're going to go into myth number 5. So myth number 5 is that health food is too expensive. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that one. Okay, but here's my comeback to that. You might say health food is expensive, but this is my comeback to that, and that is eating out costs more in the long term, especially with chronic illness. So you want to start off with, simple. You want to start off very simple. When I say starting out very simple, instead of getting frozen vegetables, go to the canned vegetables and try to get those ones that have reduced sodium in them. Instead of, I'm sorry, instead of canned vegetables, go to frozen vegetable. Instead of white rice, go to brown rice. Beans and sweet potatoes, they are affordable, they're full of fiber, and they are nutritious. So starting out simple, you know, the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So what that is basically saying is it might be a little expensive for certain items when you're eating healthy, but compare that to the cause of disease processes having to buy medication, having frequent visit to the doctor. All that is much more expensive when compared to buying more healthy choices of food items. Okay, so remember that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. That myth is a truth. So it is not a myth, it is a truth. All right. So remember that 1 Corinthians 10 and 31 tell us, so whether you eat or whether you drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. So take it like this. Wellness is worship. Our body is the temple. God has created and given us his body, and we have to take care of it. So wellness is worship. What we eat, it can either nourish us or it can numb us on purpose. And when I say numb us on purpose, cause certain diseases and illness when we do not eat healthy. All right. So our takeaway for tonight is nutritional myths are culturally rooted, but they can be relearned through truth. And that is why we're here tonight, providing you that truth. Okay? Your healthy story doesn't have to repeat your family history. So if grandma had it and great granddaddy had it, that doesn't mean you have to have it. Or if you do, because of genetic makeup, you can better manage it and keep it under control because we're providing you those tools that are essential and that are necessary. Okay? And remember, wellness doesn't mean giving up flavor. Eating healthy and healthy food choices, it doesn't mean giving up flavor. It's how you season it. And as we said earlier, using less salt, and if at all possible, get away from the salt altogether. Because remember, sodium salt, it helps to retain fluid. And when we retain fluid, we begin to have inflammation, swelling. And when swelling begins to occur, it causes pressure on the heart, it causes pressure on your arteries, which in turn causes us to go into having heart risk, high blood pressure, cardiovascular issues, kidney issues, and a whole lot of other, even down to diabetes. So wellness doesn't mean giving up flavor. So instead of using that salt, use those herbs, use those spices, and it just worked just as fine. I promise you it does. It really does. It's about how you season it and what you season it with. You don't necessarily need that salt. So wellness does not mean giving up flavor. It means choosing fuel FUEL, over fatigue. All right. And also know that at He Cares Training and Education Center, LLC, we believe in breaking cycles through education. And if you're ready to host a wellness workshop in your church, in your community, in your workplace, then let us partner. Let us partner together and let us begin to make that change. And if you are interested, you can reach out to us. And the information to reach out to us is on the screen at this time. So you can reach us at www.hecarestrainingeducationcenter.org. Okay? Because wellness is bigger. It's bigger than weight. Wellness is bigger than weight. It's a whole new way of living. And we at Here He Cares Training and Education Center are here to help you walk through that wellness journey. We're here to help you begin to make that change into a more healthier living, a more healthier lifestyle. We want to partner with you to be a part of that wellness journey. And we're going to place that information on the screen again, and that is www.hecarestrainingeducationcenter.org. We want to partner with you. We want to make an agreement with you to walk you through your wellness journey and to help you to make those changes. We're not talking about starting out huge. You can start off small. And we're here to walk with you each and every step of the way. Myself, along with Dr. Willis, we want to partner with you. So go ahead, reach out to us, and let us get a plan working for you, and let us get this thing to rolling so we can make a difference in not only your life, but in your children's life and your children's children's life, so we can break that cycle. All right. Again, once again, I'm putting that information on the screen of how you can get in touch with us. Okay. Also, we want to let you know that, you know, the truth is a lot of these nutritional myths that we just talked about, they stick with us down through generation. They stick with us because nobody ever gave us the tools or provided us with the tools necessary to make healthy eating doable. That's why a lot of these myths continues on even to today. It's because we were never afforded the tools necessary how to make these health style changes, how to progress to more healthier living. But what if there there is a way to keep the guesswork out of it? I know I provided you some information tonight, but what if I told you there are some other tools to help you take the guesswork out of what to do and how to do it, and actually enjoy the process while doing it? So I'm glad you asked me that question, because guess what? I've written a book. I've written a book to help you to get through that. And that title of that book is called Diet Tools and Snacks: Essential Tools and Tasty Snacks to Support Your Healthy Lifestyle. This book is packed with quick snack ideas, simple grocery swaps, like substituting the white rice for the brown rice. Those are what we call grocery swaps. And it also has strategies in there that will make healthy eating something that you can actually stick with, even when your life gets real busy. Yeah. So we've got the tools here to help you make that transition and to make that transition more easier for you. All right, because real change doesn't start with complete complicated plans. Real change starts with simple tools and better choices. That's when real changes begin, not those complicated plans or that you have to stick to or follow to. But real change starts with simple tools and better choices. So I encourage you, not just because I wrote it, but because it is power packed with information that's going to help you in your transition. So I encourage you to head over to Amazon Books and also Barnes and Nobles, and let's make wellness work for you. Grab your copy of the book Diet Tools and Snack: Essential Tools and Tasty Snacks to Support Your Healthy Lifestyle. I promise you, you're going to find that book to be very valuable for you. Okay? All right. So, you deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve that. You owe yourself that, to feel good in your body. Not only that, you deserve to have energy, you deserve to have clarity, and you deserve to have longevity, not just tradition. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. And like I say, those simple things, starting simple. All right? One myth at a time, one meal at a time, and one choice at a time. And we're here to help walk you through that journey. All right? So, again, make sure you head over to Barnes and Nobles, Amazon Book, and get your copy of Diet Tools and Snack: Essential Tools and Tasty Snacks to Support Your Healthy Lifestyle. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on He Cares Health Talk podcast. Remember, if you're not following us on our Health Talk Facebook page, please, I'm asking you to shoot on over there after we get off from here and make sure you follow us. It will mean the world to us. And also, I'm asking you, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube Health Talk channel, please run on over there also and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that little bell so you can get notification when we upload new material or come on live. All right. And most importantly, I'm asking that you, on YouTube and on Facebook, please give us a thumb up. Also, lastly, if you will, please be so ever kind and make sure you share this information. Share it with a friend, share it with a coworker, share it with a loved one, share it with any and everybody that you know that are ready to make that transition into more healthy eating, a more healthy lifestyle. Share this information with them. Okay? We really appreciate you so much, and it would help us out so much. Again, don't forget, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share this information, share, share, share. I appreciate it. Follow us on Health Talk, our Facebook page, and subscribe to our Health Talk YouTube channel. All right, so join us here tomorrow night between the hours of 8 and 8:30 for episode number 10. Episode number 10, we're going to be talking about diabetes. We're going to talk about diabetic prevention, and it's going to be another power packed episode that will impact and change the lives of those who are affected by diabetes and those who may be at risk for diabetes. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's episode. Make sure you tell somebody about it. All right? Let's make one small change on your plate and celebrate that you're choosing life. Again, thank you so very kindly for joining us here on tonight on He Cares Health Talk podcast. We pray that this episode has been a blessing to you. And the Lord's will, tomorrow night between the hours of 8 and 8:30, we will be back here live podcast. He Cares Health Talk podcast, episode number 10. Until tomorrow night, the Lord's will. God bless you. God keep you. Let's remember, your health matters. God bless you. We'll see you, the Lord's will, tomorrow night. Good night.